first position, or what we call a Pilates V. We'll bring the heels together and just kind of come and stand nice and tall. We're going to pull the weight back into our heels and then open the toes up into a Pilates V first position if you're a dancer. We're nice and tall, shoulders are back and down. I want you to think about zipping up those thighs, so having no light come from between them, and feel like you have wrapped your muscles around your femur. So everything's kind of pointed out here. Now pull yourself up a little bit taller, pulling the rib cage away from the hips, creating some space there. Shoulders are back and down. Chin kind of tucks back here. And we're going to breathe. I want you to breathe as I tell you to breathe. If you do not breathe, I would like you, if you don't breathe the way I tell you to, I'd like you to continue to breathe, okay? So if you're inhaling when I'm saying exhaling, please don't hold your breath. Just kind of try to get it with me. Think about the hardest part of the movement is typically when we exhale. So again, I don't have time to take anybody in the emergency room. I'm all trained, it's good, but I want you to breathe. So kind of try to get into that breath pattern. Sometimes your breathing pattern feels different than mine, and that's okay as well. Just breathe, okay? So shoulders back. I'm gonna use my arms to mimic what I want your rib cage to do. You can let your hands rest or do the same. So I'm gonna inhale nice and deep, let the rib cage expand east to west. And then exhale out through pursed lips. You should hear this breath. Good. And again, inhale and exhale. So you're paying attention not to just let the chest rise, but rather expand nice and deep using the diaphragm. Inhale and exhale. Good. Squeeze a little bit tighter through those legs as you do your breathing. A few more breaths here. Inhale and exhale. Last time. Inhale and exhale. Good. So we should feel nice and tight and engaged here. Roll those shoulders back, reach your arms long. Make sure you can see your thumbs out of your peripheral vision, so you're looking forward. My right one always sneaks back there a little bit. Reach longer through the fingertips, so I want you to feel the shoulder blades kind of spread apart here. Keeping your hips forward, we're gonna twist from the belly button up. Let's go this way. Inhale, and then 1, 2, 3, come back in. Inhale and exhale. 1, 2, 3, back to center as we inhale and exhale. 1, 2, 3, inhale, reach long, exhale, twist. Good. So really focus on squeezing those legs together and not letting them move with you. So those hips are staying in position and only the belly button up is moving. And inhale and exhale. 2 and 3, inhale, exhale. 1, 2, 3, small pulses. Inhale and exhale. 1, 2, 3, inhale and exhale. 1, 2, 3. Pause at center and let's do some circles. Inhale forward and exhale around, right up to shoulder height only. Inhale and exhale. Good time to kind of get your breathing pattern accurate. So a full breath per circle, nice and slow and controlled. If you're considering whether or not to make something bigger or stay in control of it, I'd prefer that slow, controlled, precise movements as opposed to range of motion. And one more this direction. Pause at the top. Let's reverse it. Inhale behind, exhale around and up. 6. Good. And 5. Inhale and exhale. 4. Inhale. Exhale. 2 last time. And 1. Good. Keep your arms up. They're getting mad at me, right? Flex your hands and push side to side. Wake up that spine a little bit in that sideways movement. Just feel like you're pushing the walls away. And the weight shifts a little bit, but I'm not coming all the way off of one foot or the other. And push, push. Good. 1 more each direction. Perfect. Good. Keep those arms up, palms up, shoulders back and down. I want you to just bend your knees and come tall. Bend your knees and come tall. Now, if you need to release your arms, you can. We're just trying to get those working real well. Make sure you're going up and down. We're not leaning forward. We're just staying straight up and down here as though our back were against the wall. Perfect. Now just flip your hands and just raise your heels up, keeping them together. So try to press those heels in together. You'll find those inner thighs really work with that pressure through those heels, and don't let them come apart even when you get to the top. So you're not going as tall as you possibly could because you've got the heels pressing together. Perfect. And there's 6. Now just place your hands forward toward me. Good. We're going to bend the knees, lift the heels. Heels down, heels up, heels down. Press the heels together all the way through the movement. And 5, and 6, good. Flip the palms to be at the back. Now bend, heels all the way up and down. Heels stay together the whole time. Heels all the way up and down. Slow and controlled. Heels, straighten the legs, heels back down. Good, one more. And down, perfect. Hold a giant beach ball. Everybody good? Those arms are mad, I get it. If you need to take them down at any time, down here is just fine. Shoulders back. We're going to come into a full elevate. That just means we're lifting those heels all the way up, putting on those stilettos. Shoulders back and down, inhale and exhale all the way up and down. So this time the heels kind of stay together till they don't. And down, and up, and down. Good work. Feel a little bit of creaks and cracks working out through those ankles and knees and hips, or is that just me? And one more time there. Perfect. Now, we're going to put a lot of those things together. So I'm going to bend. I'm going to bring the heels off. I'm going to bring myself all the way up. Arms come up and everything comes down slow. So bend, heels, knees all the way up and down. Nice and slow and controlled. All the way up and down. Excellent job. And last time here. And 6, perfect. Roll those shoulders and come tall. Excellent job. I want you to place your weight into your left leg and bring your right foot forward. Shoulders back and down. We have this nice external rotation because we came right out of that V. Now your arms can do what they need to do to help you stay balanced here. So you might be low, you might be wide, you might be high. I'll probably go center. That's kind of the middle of the road there. Reach that toe long, shoulders back and down. And we're just going to lift. And think about that reach creating the lift. 2, 3, don't forget to breathe. 4, 5, and 6. Good. Let's take it right out to the side. If you can, we're not tapping that toe. If you need to, by all means, take that option. 2, 3. Love to see the options around the room. 4, falling over. 5, and 6. And then we'll take it straight back behind if you can. Remember, this knee is soft. Squeeze up. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and replace that foot. We'll go to the other side, and then we're going to do the same type of movement in a kind of a different position with the leg next time. So shoulders are back, arms where you need them. Again, you might need a break. They might be wide, they might be tall. And we're going to reach long through the toe and give it that lift. The reach creates the lift. 2, so those abdominals are connected all the way down to your toes. 4, and 5, and 6, and straight out to the side. So kind of get readjusted, and up we go. 6, and 5, and 4. Find the obliques really firing here. 2, and 1, straight to the back, and lift. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And replace that foot. Shoulders back and down. So our next movement is the same kind of 6 lifts, front, side, and back, but we're gonna do it in an attitude, which just means a bent knee, okay? So same thing with the hands, shoulders back and down. Let's shift the weight into the left and bring the right forward. And this time, instead of bringing it extended, I want you to bring it right in next to the arch of the foot. Shoulders back and down. We're going to lift here. 6. Now I want you to think about lifting toward me. 4, and maybe you tap it, maybe you don't. 2, and 1. Good. Same thing, just right out to the side. Here we go. 6, and 5, and 4. Use those abs to pull the leg up. And 2, and 1. And now we're going to kind of keep it wide and push it behind us for that back movement. 6, and 5, and 4, and 3, 2, and 1. Did you find the difference in the glute really, right? As you kind of move through that, the movement actually moves around through the glute, the work, I guess I should say. Shoulders back, attitude, so tuck it in, and lift, kind of forward, and up. 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then keep it open and right to the side. 6 and 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and then right to the back. 6, ooh, did you hear my hip? 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Replace that foot. Good, roll those shoulders. Come into a nice wide plie stance. And you're going to be as wide as you're comfortable with, making sure that the knees are not going out over the ankles or toes. So in this wide position, that shouldn't be a big challenge for you. Give me a little tuck under through the pubic bone. Shoulders back, arms out, holding that giant beach ball again. And we're just going to do a few squats here. So we're just gonna come down and squeeze up. And I want you to press down into those heels on the way up. And we're getting deeper each time. 4, 5, and 6. Good. Meet me at the bottom and lift your left heel and right. Sorry, probably the opposite of what I just said because I said my real ones. Reach. Deeper. 2, 2, 1, 1. Stay down. Both heels. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come tall. Good. Those make you shaky? Just me? Okay. I always shake on those. Doesn't matter what I've already done. Doesn't matter how strong I am. Just those are a challenge. Come a little bit closer in here. You've got your legs about shoulder distance apart and they are in parallel. We're going to do a standing saw. So shoulders are back and down. Reach the arms long. This is all about abdominal control, even though it looks and feels like I could do this in my sleep. So really focus on those abs. Inhale and exhale. One arm comes across, the other arm goes up. Now hinge at the waist and bring that hand to the outside of the foot for 1, 2, 3. Small pulses. Stack, stack, stack using your abdominals. Inhale and exhale other way. 1, 2, and 3. Stack up. Inhale and exhale. 1, 2, and 3. Look at that top thumb over your shoulder and try to get that pinky finger to the outside of your pinky toe. Good, and you may or may not touch the mat, but I do want those legs to remain straight. 2 and 3. Stack, stack, stack. All abs like you've been scooped out with the giant ice cream scoop. And other way. 2, 3. Inhale, stack, stack, stack. And other way. 1, 2, and 3. Stack back up. And other way. Good. I lost track, so let's do one more. Feels about right. Inhale and exhale. 1, 2, 3. Up we go. Nice straight legs. Big stretch through the back side of those legs. And other way. 1, 2, 3. And up we go. And release. Nice work. We're going to come down to the mat, right into our 100 position. That means tailbone to shoulder blades are the only thing on the mat. If you want, you can come down the way I go down, which is a little ballerina-esque, or you can do it on your own. Just meet me at the bottom. Foot behind me, place that foot down, come all the way down onto that shin. Tuck back, roll back, and come onto the back. Tailbone to shoulder blades only on the mat. So if you're new to Pilates, you may want to bring the knees down, feet down. You could have them in tabletop. As we get going, you might find that an extension might feel good and challenging. Reaching long through the head and neck is what we're going to do all the way through. So if at any time you need to bring your head down, or place one hand right at that hairline and let the head relax into the hand as opposed to the hand pulling the head, that's helpful as well. So we're up, we're reaching long through those fingertips. We're going to pretend that we're in a shallow pool and we're going to pat the water with those arms. So squeeze your knees together, extend a little bit farther, and here we go. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale and exhale. Good. Reach longer through those feet just a little bit.
And exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Squeeze the light up from between those knees. And exhale. Good. We're about halfway there. I want you to extend those legs a little if you can. And we're going to slow this down. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reach longer through the head and neck. And exhale, good. Keep your eyes trained right on your own belly button there. And exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 5, 4, 3. Last time, inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, done. Bring the head down, knees in. Rock and roll side to side to release that spine. As we continue through our ab series. Of course, the entire class of Pilates is an ab class, so even though we're done with the ab series after this, the abs will not be done. This is actually part of the warm-up. So we're going to bring ourselves right into our double bent leg stretch. We've got the legs tucked in already. Hands rest right on the shins. I want you to squeeze all the light out from between your legs, fusing your legs together as though you have a mermaid tail. Reach long through the head and neck again, or leave your head down if it's getting heavy. Round up, tuck that pencil under the chin. Look at your own belly button. Now squeeze your shins in and become more like a ball. Now we're gonna extend the arms overhead and legs long. And then exhale, scoop everything back in, hands back to the shins. Again, inhale, open, and exhale, scoop. 2, beautiful work. Inhale, and exhale, squeeze. 3, inhale, and exhale, squeeze. 4, inhale, and exhale, squeeze. 5, and 6. Now, bring your head down for a moment if you need to, or stay with me, and I'm gonna go right into a single bent leg stretch. So I'm gonna keep that right leg tucked in. Right hand comes around right below the right knee. Left hand comes through the center, right over the right ankle, above the right ankle, but not on it. So I'm gonna pull in here for a double inhale. Inhale, exhale, switch. Switch those hands to the other leg. Pull, inhale, exhale, switch. Pull those abs in tighter, and exhale. Good. Remember that head can come to rest in the hand if the hand doesn't pull it. Good. One more each side here. Inhale, exhale, switch. Inhale, exhale, everything comes down. Rock and roll side to side. And we're going to do those, the same 2 exercises, but with straight legs. So a double straight leg stretch and then a single straight leg stretch. So when you straighten those legs up, some of us have pretty tight hamstrings and there's some nice bend here that just doesn't go away, right? So if that's you and those legs won't go very straight, maybe you can steal a peek in the mirror to kind of see how those legs are. You're gonna bring your hands closer to your hips here and be right behind your thighs. As you kind of get to straighten them out, the only thing I don't want is your hands right behind your knees. So behind your thighs, or maybe you've got straight legs and you can go pretty close toward your ankles here, but don't choose to pull here with the bent legs because you don't get the same stretch as if you pulled here with bent legs. So don't make that mistake of feeling like, oh, I want to do what the teacher's doing. Do what works best for you. So same thing here, head and neck, hands are behind the legs wherever they're most comfortable. Reach long through the head and neck, round up, straighten those legs even more. Excellent job. Inhale to open the arms and legs again, and exhale, squeeze back around and through. Give yourself a nice tug on the back of those legs to get that stretch in. And 2, inhale, and exhale, squeeze. 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now stay up with me if you can as we switch to single leg, or bring that head down for a moment. I'm gonna let that leg fall as much as it can while my small back maintains contact with the mat. Inhale to pull, exhale, release to switch. Inhale, and exhale. Straighter, good. Here's 5, 5, last time, 6, and 6, good. And tuck the knees in, head down, rock and roll side to side. So are your abs getting mad at me? They're getting a little sassy, starting to talk back a little bit. That's the plan. I want you to place your hands right next to you. We're gonna take a little break for the head and neck, but not for the abdominals. We're gonna try to work really deep into those lower abdominal muscles. So these are the muscles that are so deep. They're the muscles that you use to like start and stop your stream if you're using the restroom, the muscles that you might use to do Kegel exercises if you're a woman. So bring the knees right over the hips here and bring the legs into tabletop. Find your small back and press it into the mat by drawing those abdominals up and in. My toes are pointed. My triceps are pressing into the mat and I'm opening up through my chest here. Head and neck is long, looking straight up at the ceiling. I'm going to let those toes come down, keeping that 90-degree bend. Barely touch the mat and come right back up. Good, so let's pretend that this is a nice ice cold pool and we barely touch our toes in and we're like, nope, too cold, and bring them right back up and squeeze. Good, so you should find those lower abs are really working through this movement, through this motion. And here's 6, we're just going to change it slightly by doing just the right leg. So if your legs are getting tired, your abs are getting tired, maybe the left foot actually stays on the mat while the right foot goes down, or you maintain that tabletop with the left foot while the right foot goes down. Good work, there's 6 already. Let's go to the other side. Tap 6, inhale and exhale. 4, 3, can you take that other knee a little farther away from your hip? Last time there. And 1, yay, how about some alternating right tap, left tap, right tap, left tap. Keep that 90-degree bend, point those toes, bring the other leg only to tabletop, not any closer to the chest than the hip. 3, 3, 2, 2, 1, 1. Good, bring those knees in, rock and roll side to side, and we're going to finish our series of 5, or our ab series, with our crisscross. So bring your fingertips to rest behind your ears and your elbows nice and wide. We're going to start this one without bringing our head up, and if you are interested in doing so, you can join me as we go through a couple of reps. So our head and neck get pretty stressed out, and that's something we obviously use every day. I don't want that to be sore. So if it gets too tired, just bring your head back down and come back into this position of the movement that we're going to do now. So keeping those elbows wide, shoulders back and down, small back pressing in. I'm just going to take my right knee and tuck it across toward my left shoulder, and then I'm going to come back in, and then I'm going to try the left knee tucking across toward the right shoulder. Now as I get going, I can extend that other leg that's not crossing the midline there and make it nice and low toward the mat. So you should find those obliques, or the sides of the abdominals, are definitely working here, even though I don't have my head up. And then if you'd like to join me, I'm going to reach long through the head and neck again, round my spine up, tuck that pencil under the chin, keep the movement, shoulder to knee, knee to shoulder. Now the shoulder gets to come with me. And when I was in high school, we would lead with the elbows, right? And we call these bicycles. And I want you to lead with your shoulder. Try to get the knee to the shoulder and the shoulder to the knee as you reach long through the opposite leg. And reach, belly in tighter. Feel that small back press in. Good. Inhale and exhale. Remember, I want you to use your breath to help you with the control. You burn more calories and you better oxygenate your blood when you can hear your breath. So as you inhale in through the nose and exhale out through pursed lips, you're really benefiting your body in multiple ways. Good. We about done? Couple more. Reach, inhale, and exhale. Last time. And done. Yes. Bring those knees in, rock and roll side to side. Here's my gift to you. We're going to take a big stretch. So I want you to extend your arms and legs long on the mat. Let your rib cage pop up off of the mat so you've got some space between your small back and the mat. Now just for a moment, I want you to feel yourself being pulled in both directions. Feel like your belly button is being pulled up toward the ceiling, and your shoulder blades and hip bones are being pulled together. So you're kind of being folded in half. belly out. Now wiggle your fingers and toes to remind yourself we do not stop moving in Pilates. We're gonna make the stretch deeper and longer and get farther into it. Now let's just stay in this position, but just reach long through the right side. Good, inhale to center. And exhale, reach long through the left side. And inhale to center, right side again. And inhale to center, left side again. Good, one more time at center. Inhaling and exhaling, perfect. I want you to flex your feet, turn your thumbs down and pinkies up, and now draw your spine back into the mat. You should find that your glutes need to engage, your knees kind of squeeze down so the knee pits come closer toward the mat. And we're just going to roll up. This is called a roll up, and we're going to stack the spine one vertebra at a time, nice and slow, all the way up. Keep your legs anchored as we do so. Reach long through the head and neck. Tuck a pencil under the chin. Squeeze each vertebra into the mat as you come up, keeping those legs anchored all the way. Try not to let them come up. Nice work, that's a challenge. Inhale, stack tall. Exhale, reach long, fingertips to the outside of the feet. Inhale, stack tall again. And exhale, let's roll back down. So think about your spine, each and every little vertebra having its own moment with the mat on the way down here, right? We're slow, we're controlled. Try to get the small back down first, then the mid back, then between the shoulder blades, then the head and arms come up overhead. Perfect, that's one. I want us to shoot for 4 today. I'm gonna show you an option. If your legs are coming up, I want you to bend your knees and place your feet on the mat. So if you can do it with your legs long, do that. I'm just gonna show the modification if it's needed. Feeling the small back pressing into the mat, reaching long. Each vertebra press down. Then I'm gonna grab those legs and let them help me come up and extend them, flex the feet, and reach long toward the outside of the feet. We're getting a little bit farther each time through this forward fold. Pull those abs up and in. Stack tall again, and then tuck and roll again. So that's 2. 2 more to go. Nice and slow. Good job. So we're getting slower, more controlled each time. Squeeze the glutes, flex the feet, small back presses in, reaching long, breathing. Keep those legs anchored. That's the hardest part. They want to come up. Inhale and exhale, reach. Good work. Stack tall. Last time, tuck. Really, really slow. In control all the way through. Feel that small back press in before the mid back. Then the head comes down. Thumbs are down, pinkies are up. If you want to make it a little bit harder, point your toes, bring your legs a little bit wider than the mat, squeeze through the glutes. Inhale and exhale. Each and every vertebra first pushes into the mat, then lifts up. Yes, team, nice work. Inhale and exhale, just reach farther out. And stack tall. Nice work. Take a moment. Let's let the blood return where it should be. I'm gonna grab a drink. We're gonna set up for our side lying series next. This is a fan favorite. So hip to shoulder aligns with the back edge of the mat, and then the legs will come at a slight angle toward the front edge of the mat. You are going to bring your body down. Sorry, I'm just sorting my pants here. You're gonna bring your body down so your rib cage is on the mat. Your option here for your head is to just keep your arm extended and your ear kind of goes right on the top of your shoulder, or you can bend your elbow and prop your head up if you need to see better. All up to you. So our goal is to not let the hips or shoulders unstack as we move our legs. So this top shoulder comes back and around, and the hand comes down as the tripod to keep you steady. And I want you to think about a whisper of breath being available between you and the mat, right? You're kind of pulling those abs up and in, drawing those shoulders back and down.
Reach long through both feet. Flex your bottom one and point your top one. As you point that top one, I want a little bit more reach through it, which will help us stack the hip. Now rotate that toe up toward the ceiling. We're gonna bring that leg up, inhale, and flex and exhale, squeeze down. Now take a moment and look at your heels. You should have an L or a reverse L here because I've got that leg so rotated. Inhale, up, and flex and exhale to squeeze back down. Remember, we're trying to stay in control all the way through, squeezing through the inner thighs, squeezing that glute. Inhale, and exhale, squeeze down. Excellent job. Inhale, and exhale. 2 more, please. Inhale, exhale. Last time. Inhale up, and flex and exhale to squeeze down. Good. Now turn that foot parallel with the other and point the toe. Shoulders back, reach long again to restack the hips. Pretend you have a coffee pot on your shoulder and a coffee cup on your, other way around, coffee pot on your hip and a coffee cup on your shoulder, and you want neither one of them to fall. So nothing other than the leg is moving in your body. That comes from the core strength. Now let's bring that toe forward, and then we'll flex and squeeze it behind. Now your range of motion toward the front will likely be larger than your range of motion toward the back before that hip wants to come unstacked. So make sure your shoulder is not rolling forward. Make sure your hip is not becoming unstacked. And exhale, squeeze. Good work. Inhale and exhale. One more, please. Inhale and exhale. Good work. Make sure that hip doesn't come unstacked. Now, point that toe and bring the leg a little bit higher than hip distance. Shoulders back and down, core is nice and strong. Point the toe. We're gonna inhale forward and exhale back around and up for a circle. And inhale and exhale 2. Inhale and exhale 3. Inhale and exhale 4. 5, last time. And then let's reverse that. So go behind, inhale and exhale around and up. 6. 5, slow and in control. 4, engage that bottom leg and glute a little bit more. Good work. Inhale and exhale 2. And 1. Is that leg mad at me yet? Good. Point the toe. Bend your leg just a little bit so the toe is right in the arch of your foot. We're going to do a side passe. So we're going to drag that toe all the way up and in as far as you can go before it releases off. That leg points overhead, flex the foot, and squeeze back down. Again, point, drag it all the way in. Nice and smooth and pretty. This is one of those that reminds me of a ballerina because it's a ballerina move and makes me feel pretty and long and lean, elegant, strong. Good work. One more this direction and then we're going to switch it. And pause here. Keep that foot flexed. Now with the foot flexed, it comes up, point, dive, and now slide back toward the foot. Flex the foot, up, point, dive, slide. Smooth it out. Smoother than a fresh jar of Skippy today, right? Smooth and in control. Perfect. Here's 5. And last time. 6. Perfect. Restack your hips. We're going to stack your feet. I want you to flex them and squeeze up. So for me, I need to push just a little bit out and just a little bit forward to restack here. We're just going to lift both legs up 6 times and then we're going to go forward and back. So reaching long through the heels, fuse your legs together, inhale and exhale 6. Now, you are not letting those hips unstack, which means this is a small movement. 5, if I let my hips unstack, I can come all the way up, but that's not what we're looking for. There's 6. Now forward, 6, and back 6. Now here is the tricky part because I'm trying not to let that body move. Good. And those legs are not dragging along the mat. And there's 6. Nice work. Let that bottom leg rest. Bring the top leg up and over. And you can grab either to the outside in the front or through the inside and around. And I want you to take a second and feel this little stretch. Should feel goodish. Anytime you feel any real burning or painful stretching, that's not what it should feel like. Good. I'm going to push my hip back a little bit here to get deeper into the outside of that stretch. And then I'm going to bring the knee down. And here's a weird one, but tap out your hip and you'll find a spot there that you feel some release. It's a little bit personal. Other people might feel it a little different than me. I typically have a little bit of a challenge in my SI joint, my sacroiliac joint, which is toward the back. And so for me, kind of banging around back there feels a little better. Maybe yours is around to the front or the side, but find what kind of works. I kind of use the base of my thumb to kind of get deep in there. So see what feels good for you. And then we're gonna come right onto our bellies for a little transition move. So we're gonna come face down, stack your forearms one right on top of the other, and then let your forehead just rest right in your forearms. Bring your feet flat so the soles of your feet are up toward the ceiling and your feet are down on the mat. Now pull your shoulders back and down, draw your abs up and in. And as you draw your abs up and in, pull them so strongly that they literally lift your feet up off the mat. So once again, the reach and the pull creates the lift. Now reach just a little bit farther so the legs come a little bit higher. Bring the heels in toward each other, toes apart. And we're going to squeeze the heels together and then open the legs about hip distance apart and squeeze back in. So this is your upper inner backs of your thighs and your glutes. Squeeze 4. Squeeze 5. Squeeze 6. Stay here. Flex your feet. Bend your knees. And you want very little of your thighs on the mat as we squeeze those heels straight up toward the ceiling. And squeeze 2. Squeeze 3. Squeeze 4. Squeeze 5. And squeeze 6. Excellent job. Extend your legs long. And we're going to turn ourselves over the other way or all the way around if you need to see. So we should theoretically just be able to roll right back over to the other side to get set up for the second half of our side lying series. But I won't make you look at my backside. So I'm going to flip all the way around. And those legs once again are toward the front corner of the mat, the hip to the shoulder lined up straight along the back edge, and kind of find what works for you. And then we're going to restack the hips, put that coffee pot back on, that coffee cup back on, bring the hand down in front, shoulder back and down, flex the bottom foot, point the top one, and rotate the whole leg from the hip down up toward the ceiling. Here we go. Inhale and flex and exhale, squeeze. 1, 2, good work. Find that top oblique really working and squeeze the bottom leg. Here's our last one there. And 6, perfect. Now rotate, reach that leg long, point the toe for our front backs, and inhale to bring it forward, and flex and exhale to squeeze it back. So we're trying to stay right at shoulder height or hip height here. Keep it equidistant from the floor all the way through, and do not let your shoulder roll with you forward or back. Inhale and exhale. One more like that, and then we're on into circles. And exhale, good. Now reach that leg long, bring it a little bit higher. Feel it reach to restack the hip, and inhale forward and exhale around and up. 6, nice work. And 5, 4, abs tighter. 3, inhale, exhale. 2, and 1, engage that bottom leg a little bit more. Reverse that. Inhale and exhale. 6, and 5, and 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. Stack your feet, flex them. Shoulders back and down. This side gets a little sassier a little sooner. It already supported you, so it's probably mad at me. And we're gonna reach long through the heels, and we're lifting up. 6. Try not to let them rest all the way down at the bottom if you can. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now forward, inhale, and exhale. Good. Try not to let the body move. 3, 2, and 1. All right, place that foot down and take your top leg over. Grab from the outside or the inside, whatever feels good for you. Kind of roll back and forth, forward and back. See what feels the best. Good work. I like that one. And then you can let that knee come forward and again tap out the hip. So find what works best. Maybe it's the base of your hand, maybe it's the side of your thumb. Find that spot or spots that feel better with a little bit of release. Excellent job. Okay, team. We are going to come onto our backs for some shoulder bridging, and then we've got some fun plank series to do after that. So when you're done stretching, I want you to come onto your back, place your feet down, and just roll down nice and slow. All the way down. Head and neck are on the mat, and your feet are a comfortable distance from your hips. So they might be closer if you're newer to Pilates, and if you've got really strong hamstrings, you might find that bringing them up out a little bit farther works for you. So I go kind of somewhere in the middle there. And this is one where if your calves have already been a little bit, threatening to cramp, this might happen in this series. So if at any time you have a cramp, bring yourself down as slowly and in control as you can. Take a moment, kind of flex the foot the opposite way and see what works. So again, draw the shoulders back and down. Open up through the clavicles and squeeze the triceps down into the mat. Feel your small back pressing into the mat first. Now, give me a nice pelvic tilt, squeezing up through the pelvic bone like you're trying to get the pubic bone to face your head there. And then we're gonna press each vertebra down into the mat and then peel it off the mat. So we're in a nice straight line from the knees to the shoulders. So all the way up here, squeezing through, belly pulls up and in. Squeeze through your hamstrings and glutes. Pretend as though your knees are magnetically drawn toward one another, but you just cannot quite make them touch, right? So feel that little bit of knee pressure there. Perfect. Pull those abs in a little tighter, lift a little higher. And now let's pull ourselves down one vertebra at a time. So squeeze those abs in tight, and each vertebra, again, has its own moment with the mat on the way down. One of the goals of Pilates is to move our spine in every direction in which it can go. So we want to make sure we get a lot of spinal articulation in. All right, so our next one, we're going to do some hip work when we get to the top. So pull your abs in tight, start with that nice pelvic tilt, and peel yourself up here. Nice and high, straight line from the hips to the shoulders. So I don't need you overextended. I want you to be in a nice straight line here. Perfect. Now, squeeze those knees just to feel them engage, and we're going to squeeze them together and open. Squeeze 6. Keep the hips high. Open. Squeeze 5. Squeeze together and open. 4, 3. Good work. And last one. And 1. Good. Now just stay up here, and I want you to squeeze just the right hip up toward the ceiling. Squeeze it. 6. So it's like the hip almost comes up and at an angle toward the corner of the ceiling, where the ceiling meets the wall. 3. Inhale. Exhale. 2. And 1. Good. Come back to center. Lift the hips up again. And let's do the left side. Squeeze 6. 5. Find that hamstring and glute really engaging. 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. Now walk your feet in a little bit closer.
and lift your heels up nice and tall. Perfect. Pull your abs in tight, and we're going to come down and then right back up with the hips. So small back touches, and then press straight up. And round down till the small back makes contact, and then press straight up. Good. Inhaling and exhaling, squeeze. 4, 2 more, 5, and 6. Stay at the top. Go ahead and lift a little higher. Squeeze those knees in a little bit more. Squeeze through the glutes, and let's come down slowly and in control. Each and every vertebra taking their little moment. Keeping those heels off. You've got your stilettos on. Good, nice, slow control. Inhale and exhale. Release the hips. Back to neutral. Release the heels and lift the toes. We're gonna take a moment for a figure 4 stretch here. So cross one leg over the other, and then grab behind that thigh and pull it in. So this is called a figure 4 stretch because this is like a triangular upside down 4. Pull gently in. I like to press gently away with my elbow in the other leg, and then I love to go side to side. So that might not feel the best for you. Find what works best, and then pull it in and release. Let's switch to the other side. And pull and open through the knee as you kind of press through the elbow. Reach, and then a little side to side if you like it. Excellent. Uncross that leg, but stay holding on to the other one and use it to jackknife yourself up to seated. And then we're gonna go through our little plank series real quick. So first plank in my class is typically your favorite plank. If it's forearms, if it's knees, if it's toes, if it's hands, whatever your favorite plank is. And then I'm gonna cue us all head to toe body check to make sure that plank is correct. Then we're going to go into a plank series where we do all of our planks. So we're gonna start in a plank, we're gonna go into a side plank, and then we're gonna turn into a reverse plank where the hips are up and we're facing the ceiling, and then we're gonna come back in. If you're like, no, I'm not, Kim, that's fine. You're just gonna try to get all 3 of those planks in, whether it means you transition from the ground and up to each plank, or you transition with me from one plank to the next. Does that make sense? Okay, so come into your favorite plank position. We'll get that plank accurate before we try to add on to it. So you might find that a knee plank is great for you. All of those, except for the reverse plank, can be done on the knees even as we move through that motion. So find what works best. I'm typically a hands and toes planker. If you want to go on your knees, I recommend you cross your ankles so that you take that weight off of your kneecaps and it goes onto the heads of your quads there at the bottom of your thighs a little bit more. Now, I like to engage all the way through everything before I come up. So I've got my legs engaged, my knee pits are up toward the ceiling, my abs are nice and tight, my elbows are tucked, and I'm gonna try to bring everything up all at once. Inhale and exhale up so the chest doesn't lift before the head or vice versa. Beautiful. All right, so I'm on my hands, which means I'm looking about 18 to 24 inches ahead of my mat. If you're on your hands, I want you to just look straight down, keeping that head and neck long. Now move your weight a little bit toward the back, toward your heels. Shoulders down into the outside of your rib cage. Draw those abs up and in. And as you do that, it should squeeze through your thighs and probably lower your hips just a smidge. Yes, inhale and exhale. Let's bring everything down, keeping those elbows really close toward the body all the way through. Good. So now we're gonna try that plank, side plank, reverse plank, combo. Feel free to watch me one time and then join me. Feel free to just be like, nope, I'll do a plank, a side plank, and a reverse plank, and I don't want to move with it. So it's a smooth combo if you can do it. And I'm gonna stay, actually I'll demonstrate it on my knees just so you can see that you can do it on your knees till you flip face up. So inhale and exhale up. And then I'm going to come onto the side there, looking up at that top thumb. And then to switch to my reverse plank, I'm going to bring my leg out, hands down, and then I'm gonna take this foot over. And then my fingers kind of turn. And you could even just go right into your next side that way, or you could go back. And then side and reverse. Are you with me? And back in. Good. Foot, hand, reverse. If I get that far off my mat. Good, and then when you're back, take a moment, tuck those elbows in tight, and slowly lower down. Nice work. You do okay? That's a hard one. Awesome work. Okay, bring your hips back over your heels momentarily here. I like to bring my knees wide, my hips back, my head down. Move your hips side to side. Good, you can walk your fingertips away from you and then drag those hands back. And I want you to make a fist with one hand and wrap the other hand around it, letting your forehead rest right there on your hands. And you can have your elbows on the inside or outside of your knees, kind of finding what works best for you. Draw your shoulders back and down, and let's just take a moment to take a couple of breaths here. Inhale, nice and deep through the nose. And exhale, blow the air out through pursed lips. Again, inhale. And exhale. One last breath. Inhale. Exhale. Nice work. Bring your hands out so you're on all fours here, bringing those hips back to parallel with one another. Right leg comes to the outside of the right foot, and I want you to lift up through the left leg, wiggling that leg long into a good runner's lunge. Now square your hips and shoulders. That usually means you're moving a little bit more toward the leg that's back. Good, now put your back knee down. Push forward just a smidge, stretching through that hip. And if you like it, I like to open that knee just a little. Again, listen to your knee and hip. They might say no thanks. And then we're gonna bring that foot, the knee back from the right side and switch to the left side. Again, wiggle back, lifting up through that knee pit up toward the ceiling, squeezing back, pushing back through the heel. Knee comes down, push your weight just a little bit forward. And maybe you like to open that knee just a smidge. Perfect. And then back to all fours. So hands are right under the shoulders, knees are tucked. Tuck your toes under, draw your shoulders back and down. You're looking a little bit ahead of your mat here, just to keep your head and neck long. Tuck your toes under and hover your knees. Now round your spine up. So I'm rounded through the shoulder blades and neck. My head is down and I'm looking back through my feet here a little bit. I'm gonna keep this rounded spine and straighten my legs into something we call the elephant stretch, and my weight is over my hands. Now push the weight into your heels, straighten your legs and straighten your spine. Bend the right knee, then the left, and again. Good, and now walk your feet to your hands, or your hands to your feet. Shoulders are back and down, and we're gonna stack up tall, one vertebra at a time. Good. Work, rounded spine, rounded spine, rounded spine. All the way up, shoulders come back, neck and head come up last. Good job. All right, I want you to bring yourself back into first position. So heels together, toes wide. Pilates V, big breath. Inhale and exhale, reach up. Inhale, reach a little higher. Exhale, higher still. Good, a little lean back. A little lean forward, use those abs. A little lean back. A little lean forward, good. Now, turn your fingertips away from one another. Bring your heels together and lift up. Reach taller, taller, taller. Now, close your eyes if you can. Try to stay up on your heels and bring those arms down. When you need to, bring the heels down. Good, arms are wide and extended. Inhaling and exhaling, eyes closed or not. All the way through, feeling a little resistance on the way down. And that's our Pilates class. Thanks again for coming. Appreciate you all.